Hi there, Darth Geekula here, with a video on my 5 favorite action figures of 2015. A couple ground rules before we get started. To be on this list, I actually have to own the figure. So even if it's a super awesome, amazing action figure, if I don't own it, I didn't put it on the list. Also, it actually has to be a 2015 release. So even though I did get a 1977 Princess Leia that I really like, it can't be on this list because this is strictly action figures that were released in 2015. And thirdly, when I say action figure, I mean action figure. I decided to keep this list just action figures. So vehicles, playsets, model kits, even Lego. Didn't include that as part of this list. This is strictly my favorite action figures of 2015. That out of the way, let's get started with my 5 favorite action figures of 2015. Okay, at number 5, we have the classic Spider-Man from the Spider-Man Marvel Legends Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure wave. Now, why is it on my list? It's a nice classic Spider-Man. I always enjoy the classic costumes for my superhero toys. Really good articulation. It has the standard Hasbro Marvel Legends articulation. Perfect. He came with, I think, 3 sets of hands. So he has his web shooting hands. He also had fists and even had web crawling hands, which is awesome. So this is my default Spider-Man now on my shelf. However, what really puts this over the top and makes it one of my favorite action figures of 2015 is the fact that he comes with this alternate head, which is Spider-Man with his mask lifted up a little bit. You can have him kissing Mary Jane if you want. However, it also comes with a slice of pizza. And I think that's awesome if you want to have your Spider-Man pose eating a slice of pizza. I think that fits the character perfectly. Spider-Man has always just been this regular guy with these incredible powers, keeping New York safe, but he occasionally gets hungry, like a regular guy does. So he grabs a slice of pizza, goes on top of the Empire State Building, has his slice, and then goes back to chasing muggers and bank robbers. So that is a really, really fun addition that Hasbro threw in there. They didn't have to do it, but it just fits Spider-Man and Peter Parker's personality and character perfectly. So number 5, the Marvel Legends Spider-Man. Okay, at number 4, we have the Star Wars Black Series. 6-inch scale Wampa. This was a 2-pack with a Hoth Luke Skywalker. The Luke was a little disappointing because of some articulation issues, but the Wampa is awesome. A lot of toy collectors talk about they like toys that are heavy, and even if they have a toy that looks great, if it's kind of light, they feel like they've been gypped. I don't usually feel that way, but there is no denying that this is a heavy figure, and it actually does make it seem very substantial. The paint job is very good. The sculpting is excellent, and he comes with an action feature where you can reenact Luke Skywalker cutting his arm off. It's kind of a neat feature. I would have razored they forego that and he just have the regular articulation that the other arm has. Hasbro is kind of obsessed with turning horrible disfigurement and dismemberment into an action feature on a toy. But still, it doesn't take away that this is a 6-inch scale Wampa, one of my favorite Star Wars monsters, and a very cool figure, and that's why he's number 4 on this list. Okay, at number 3, we have the DC Collectibles Batman, the animated series Batman. And this is a great, great, great action figure. Batman, the animated series, is one of my all-time favorite interpretations of Batman, I guess you could say. That includes comics, movies, TV, everything. Just a great, great bunch of Batman stories were told in the animated series, and this action figure is awesome. Star Wars Black Series is probably my favorite action figure line to collect right now, but this animated series line by DC Collectibles is very close. Great figure, great sculpt. There's no doubt that the sculpt is great. Came with a bunch of accessories, a bunch of different hands, some batarangs, some hands sculpted holding his grapple gun. A lot of cool stuff like that. Great detail. It looks like it jumped off the screen, to use the cliche. Also came with a figure stand. I don't love the stands that they use, but they do keep it from falling over. So and I love this series, and I love this particular version of Batman. So there you go, number 4, DC Collectibles, Batman the Animated Series, Batman. Okay, at number 2 on my list is the SH Figuarts Jedi Luke Skywalker. 2015 marked the year I finally got a Figuarts figure. And yeah, these are essentially to the 6-inch scale what Hot Toys is to the 12-inch scale. Really great figure, amazing articulation. I'm not going to get into it, but it has everything you want. Came with several extra hands. Actually came with a unmasked Darth Vader head that would go with the SH Figuarts Darth Vader. It is really cool. The lightsaber looks great. Kind of an odd thing, his hair is kind of gold, which is strange. In hand, it's not quite as gold as in pictures, but he's definitely got some golden hair. Still, probably the best Mark Hamill likeness we've seen on other than a 12-inch. But what we've seen in 6-inch or even 3 1/4 scale, it's a great Mark Hamill likeness. They are somewhat expensive. They're not. You can't walk into Toys R Us from Walmart and get them either. They have to be imported. But still, great figure. I like his boots are a glossy black. The outfit is a flat black. It's just a great figure. It's an absolutely great figure, and that is why it is number 2, the SH Figuarts Jedi Luke. Okay, and here is my favorite action figure of 2015. Number 1, not with a bullet because Batman doesn't use guns. This is a grapple gun, so you know, not a regular gun. Is the Mezco 112 Collective Dark Knight Returns Batman, based, of course, on the classic Dark Knight Returns story by Frank Miller. Great figure. Mezco made a couple different variants of this figure. This is the preview exclusive that I got. There are a couple more, but they're all awesome. When Frank Miller drew Batman, he wrote and drew Dark Knight Returns. If you're watching an action figure YouTube channel, you probably already knew that. But when Frank Miller drew Batman, he didn't always draw him consistently the same. He always looked about the same. But he did kind of change appearance a little bit as the comic went on. But Mezco still captured the essence of the Dark Knight Returns Batman. I love this figure. I chose this particular version because he came with the sort of that leg utility belt, which I always thought was cool. Mezco 112 Collective, which is a very high-end 6-inch scale action figure series. With great articulation, amazing sculpting, and cloth outfits. So it's a soft goods costume. It is very hard to do soft goods on a 6-inch figure. I mean, Hot Toys figures look great, but they're 12 inches, and it's easier to make clothes look more natural at a 12-inch scale. At a 6-inch scale, it ain't easy, but Mezco has somehow nailed it. That's a cloth costume that looks fantastic. The way Frank Miller drew Batman in Dark Knight Returns, it wasn't like he was wearing a skin-tight suit where you could see all his muscle definition and you could count his abs. So that makes it a little easier, but it still looks, it looks like it jumped off the page of the comic book. I don't know if this is my favorite Batman figure of all time because it's a very specific version of Batman. But it is absolutely my favorite Batman figure that I got this year and my favorite action figure that I got this year. Came with a ton of accessories, changeable hands, alternate head, some batarangs. Came with this stand, this kind of translucent bat symbol stand, which is cool. Also came with sort of a flight stand where you could, there were some armatures in this flight stand for his cape. So it could make it look like his cape was sort of flowing in the wind as he jumped down from a building to beat the crap out of some criminal. Probably my favorite Batman story of all time is Dark Knight Returns. So that helps make me love this figure. I just think this is a great Batman action figure. It is fantastic. Again, not cheap, but if you're a Batman fan, I highly recommend this. So yes, number 1. my favorite action figure of 2015 is the Mezco 112 Collective Dark Knight Returns Batman. Awesome figure. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And I hope everyone has an awesome 2016 and that you get all the toys that you want. Okay, guys. Happy New Year. See ya.